Galileo Galilei was one of history's most transformative scientists, pioneering modern observational astronomy, physics, and the scientific method. But his relationship with faith was not a sudden conversion or late-life discovery. Instead, it was a lifelong, deeply ingrained part of his identity, shaped by his upbringing, education, and the intellectual and religious currents of 16th and 17th century Europe. Early life and the foundation of his faith. Galileo was born in Pisa, Italy, into a devout Catholic family. His father, Vincenzo Galilei, a musician and mathematician, valued education, but also raised his children within the traditions of the Catholic Church, which was the dominant spiritual, cultural, and intellectual authority in Italy at the time. As a boy, Galileo attended a monastery school in Vallombrosa, where he was first exposed to religious life and Catholic theology. For a time, he even considered becoming a monk, drawn to the order's emphasis on discipline, study, and devotion to God. Though he ultimately chose to pursue mathematics and natural philosophy at the University of Pisa, the Church's teachings remained a cornerstone of his worldview. From his youth, Galileo viewed faith and reason as complementary paths to understanding truth. He believed that God had created two books, the Bible and nature. In his view, both were authored by God, so they could not contradict one another. Any apparent conflict, he argued, stemmed from misinterpreting either scripture or the natural world. This perspective was rooted in the work of earlier Catholic scholars like St. Augustine and St. Thomas Aquinas, who had long argued that reason could illuminate faith and nature could reveal God's design. Science and faith in dialogue. As Galileo's scientific work advanced, his belief in God as the creator of the universe only deepened. His groundbreaking telescopic observations, including the moons of Jupiter, the phases of Venus, and the rugged surface of the moon, convinced him that the cosmos was far more vast and complex than previously imagined. Rather than seeing this as a challenge to faith, he saw it as evidence of God's infinite power and wisdom. In a letter to his friend Benedetto Castelli in 1613, he wrote, "The Bible teaches how to go to heaven, not how the heavens go." He argued that scripture was intended to guide moral and spiritual life, not to serve as a textbook on astronomy or physics. In 1633, after a lengthy trial by the Roman Inquisition, Galileo was found guilty of vehement suspicion of heresy and forced to recant his claim that the earth moved around the sun. He spent the rest of his life under house arrest at his villa near Florence. Crucially, Galileo never rejected his faith during this period, or at any point in his life. While the trial was a devastating blow to his reputation and freedom, he continued to pray, read scripture, and see his scientific work as a way to honor God. In his later years, he wrote two new sciences, a foundational work in physics, and remained convinced that truth, whether spiritual or physical, could only come from God.